What's up, guys? What is better for gaming, PC or a console? It is an eternal question, just like whether Android or iOS is better. To be honest, I don't really play games very often, and I don't have any game console. However, we often test mini PCs on our channel Tech Brothers, and some of them could be called gaming computers. For example, we recently tested a mini PC. Although it is not the most powerful mini PC we have had, you can play some modern games on it. In this video, we will talk not about a computer, but a very useful device, without which it is impossible to play games on PC. This is a gaming mouse. However, as you can see, this is not an ordinary computer mouse. It is shaped like a gun. This mouse is specifically designed for FPS shooter games. I think it is an awesome idea, but let's see how it is realized in practice. Is it really more comfortable to play games with a gun mouse rather than a regular mouse? I will answer that question at the end of the video. For now, let's start our review with unboxing and design of the RAGNOK ErgoStrike7. So, on the box, we see what this mouse looks like. By the way, this is the second generation of the gun mouse from RAGNOK company. But the first one doesn't really look like a gun. The new ErgoStrike7 looks more realistic, and it even has a recoil. On the back of the box, we can see all the control buttons on this mouse. We will talk about them a little later. There are also main features of this gaming mouse on the sides of the box, such as recoil technology, mechanical trigger, ergonomic design, customizable button, advanced performance, and 3-mode connectivity. Opening the box, first we have an envelope with the user manual and double-coated tape. Then there's a gaming mouse in the box. We will take a closer look at it a little later. The package also includes a charging cable with a branded extension adapter from USB-C to USB-A. The cable itself is quite long and high quality. It is very good if you plan to use a wired connection. As you can see, I have a gaming mouse in black with a silver top, trigger and buttons. It is also available in white color with the same silver top, trigger and buttons. You know, the silver parts are made to make it look like metal, but only the trigger is metal, while everything else is plastic. However, it is a very nice matte plastic. Moreover, multiple plastic materials are used here. The inside of the handle is hard plastic, and the outside is soft plastic. There is even a nice texture outside for more comfortable grip. The company says that the grip area uses eco-friendly DPI rubber-like material that is soft and non-sticky. Overall, I feel very comfortable holding this mouse in my hand. You know, I have been using a vertical mouse for a very long time, so I don't have any problems with this gun mouse. But if you have a regular mouse, you may need to get used to the vertical grip. However, it is worth it because the vertical grip is designed to match the natural hand posture. In addition, the vertical grip reduces fatigue and minimizes the risk of repetitive strain injury. This is important for staying healthy during long gaming sessions. We will talk about side buttons and a trigger a little later. The bottom of the mouse has the pads that need to be cleaned of stickers. There is also a receiver storage at the bottom. You can plug it into your computer and use a 2.4G connection instead of Bluetooth. You can also use a wired connection by plugging in the USB cable that comes with the mouse. Using this switch, you can change the connection mode from Bluetooth to 2.4G. Next to it is a DPI button. A short press on it changes the DPI level, and a long press turns on pairing mode. Finally, the gun mouse has a recoil on top. First, we need to remove the silicone cover from it. The switch has 3 modes: off, 1x and 2x. By pressing the trigger button, we can see the recoil slider moving. The gun mouse is equipped with innovative linear motor that delivers recoil. This is perhaps the main advantage of the RAGNOK ErgoStrike7 over any other gaming mouse. By the way, I forgot to tell you about USB Type-C charging port on the front. The battery life of this gun mouse is about 70 hours with recoil off, and you can expect about 10 hours with RGB light and recoil on. Now let's talk about control buttons. First, the ErgoStrike7 gaming mouse has a trigger under the index finger. You can use it for shooting in games. In general, the trigger is the left button of the regular mouse. The button below the trigger is the right mouse button. The middle finger lies on this button and it is mainly used for aiming. You know, it is a convenient and familiar arrangement, because my vertical mouse has the same left and right button arrangement. Only instead of the left button, the gun mouse has a trigger. The ErgoStrike7 gaming mouse also has a scroll wheel on the side, as well as fire button for rapid fire with no recoil, forward and back buttons. So the gun mouse has also useful buttons like any other computer mouse, so you can use it not only for gaming, but also for everyday tasks. In addition, the RAGNOK ErgoStrike7 supports customization with dedicated software. Let's have a look at it. You can download software on the official website. I will also leave a link to it in the description under this video. Once you have connected the mouse to your computer, this can be either wired or wireless. You will see it in the program. And then we have 5 tabs in the software, such as Home, DPI, Macros, Light Effects, and Settings. On the Home tab, we can customize the function on each button, except for the trigger, because it can only be the left key. The functions for the other buttons are the same, such as left key, right key, wheel click, backward, forward, pull and rate switch, fire key, combo key, disable, and others. There are also 4 configs available here. This is convenient because you can customize the button's functions for different games and quickly switch between them. On the next tab, we have the DPI settings, namely DPI stages, and a custom DPI for each stage, polling rate, sensor settings, and light settings. The RAGNOK ErgoStrike7 even supports macros. However, as I already told you, I don't really play computer games very often, so I don't know how to use macros. The light settings include display light effects. There are 5 effects available: brightness, speed, as well as the option to turn off lights while moving. Finally, in the settings, we can change the language of this software and read information about the device. So this is my first gaming mouse, so I feel like it has a lot of functions and customization. If you think there is something missing here for gaming, write in the comments below. Now let's move on to the games. So I am going to play Counter-Strike 2, but the mouse is designed for all FPS shooter games. So my first impression is that I am pretty unaccustomed to it. I told you, I have been using a vertical mouse every day for a long time, but still this gun mouse feels different. However, this is my first game with this mouse, and I was even able to make a few kills, and that already means a lot. I think after a couple games I will be playing better with this gun mouse than my regular mouse. What I really like about the ErgoStrike7 is the recoil. First, you will feel the recoil from the mouse when you shoot. You can also hear the recoil. Finally, you can see the recoil slider moves on the mouse. By the way, you can connect modular building blocks to it, like this little guy. So the recoil is a really cool feature that makes this gun mouse special from others and also increases the immersion in games. Overall, I think the RAGNOK ErgoStrike7 gun mouse is very convenient for gaming, and it has a lot of useful settings and functions. By the way, at the beginning of the video I said it was a mouse for computer games, but it looks like I was wrong. On the official website, I saw that the ErgoStrike7 is compatible with PC, laptops, tablets, and even gaming consoles, such as PS5, PS4, Xbox, Switch, and others. That's very good. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon!